Hello everybody, today we're going to take a leisurely stroll through my fledgling PS4 collection. I picked up a used PS4 Pro about 2 months ago with my first YouTube check, and I've pretty quickly built a nice little stack of games. The PS4 is an incredible machine for the budget-conscious collector, and I'm excited to show you what I've picked up so far. Let's go! First, let's take a look at the RPGs, which is easily the biggest stack of games. The PS4 has an absolutely incredible JRPG library, and being the JRPG trash man, you can see I've been targeting those. It was the primary reason I wanted a PS4 in the first place. I think the JRPG that I'm most excited about is Persona 3 Reload. I've played through Persona 4 Golden and seriously loved it. I'll do a review on it someday. And I'm currently working my way through Persona 5 Royal, but I've never played 3. I do have it on my PS2's modded hard drive, but when I saw how incredible the Reload version looked and heard about some of the gameplay enhancements, it's just a no-brainer. Super excited to jump into this one someday. I'm also very excited to check out Tales of Arise. In fact, I'll probably jump into this one before Persona 3. The 27th mainline entry in the Tales franchise. Yes, you heard that right. This game looks awesome. Bandai Namco made a real classic here, and the PS4 Pro enhancements should make it a reasonably smooth experience. Reviews for this game are really solid, and it both looks and plays great, so I'm expecting great things from this one. A perhaps slightly underrated entry on the list, Scarlet Nexus has some of the most interesting looking combat that I've seen in a game in a long time. Being able to manipulate objects in the destructible environment and hurl them around with your telekinetic abilities seems so sick. It reminds me a bit of Control, if you've played that, another great game from the developer Remedy. Throw an anime paint job on that and you're not far off from Scarlet Nexus, which sounds awesome. I'm sold. We're tiptoeing out of the JRPG space a bit now, though Dragon's Crown Pro was developed by the Japanese wizards over at Vanillaware. And man, between Odin Sphere, Unicorn Overlord, and this game, I feel like they just don't miss. Though Dragon's Crown is an action RPG, true to their style, Vanillaware opted again for a 2D world with a highly stylized artwork. And I'm just a sucker for it. This is actually a remaster of the PS3 version that pumps up the resolution and performance, and man, does it look crisp with the PS4 Pro enhancements. It just goes to show you that you don't need an insanely ballooned budget or a gigantic open world to make an all-time great video game. Alright, last RPG for today before we move on to the next section, but perhaps one of the biggest PS4 staples. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game I have not spent much time with, but I've gotta say, for being such an early PS4 release, this game looks absolutely stunning. Best known for over a decade of work on the Killzone franchise before this came out, the Dutch studio Guerrilla Games went in a totally different direction with this one. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. Seems like reviews are a little mixed on the sequel, which is also playable on the PS4, but I'll probably scoop that up someday as well if I play through this and love it as much as I'm expecting to. Alright, let's shoryuken over to the fighting games now. Is that really what I wrote? That's fucking stupid. I think the fighting game I'm most excited to absolutely suck at is Granblue Fantasy Versus. I have some familiarity with the characters in the IP from playing Granblue Fantasy Relink on PC with my friend, which rules, by the way. So jumping into some fighting game action with those characters and seeing how their abilities translate over into this genre, it just sounds really interesting to me. I've got a soft spot for these anime-style fighters. I did grab a Guilty Gear game as well. Something about the anime aesthetic, the bright colors, and the over-the-top action is just always a good time. Switching things up quite a bit, we've got the weapons-based fighter Soul Calibur 6. I got a great deal on this one on eBay. The dude selling it had a misspelled title and a god-awful picture, so no one else bid on it. The Soul Calibur series always feels just a touch more forgiving to idiots like me in the solo campaign and arcade fighting modes than some of the other titles available. That's all I play anyway. I really just like to take the different characters for a spin, check out the different play styles, and run through the character stories if something like that is present. And Soul Calibur 6 is a game with some pretty sweet looking characters, including Geralt from The Witcher, so it should be a great time. Last up for the fighting games is Dead or Alive 5. This is the last round version released on the PS4, and that's supposed to have updated visuals and all the previous content included. I think the only mainline Dead or Alive game I'm missing now is 6, so I'll probably grab that too and just do a big review of the whole series at some point. That sounds kind of fun. Dead or Alive 5 has the same high-fidelity, physics-defying characters we're all used to, and some really incredible-looking graphics compared to its contemporaries. Team Ninja is frequently setting the bar in that department, so this is going to be a lot of fun to explore. Alright, we're switching it up again. While I don't have a ton of action-adventure titles yet, The Last of Us Part 1 should be in every self-respecting PlayStation owner's library, I'd say. I'm sure I'll grab and play through Part 2 at some point as well after I beat this one, but I have had the story spoiled for me, and yeah, it seems like a noticeable downgrade overall. But whatever, I'm excited to finally have this remastered copy to experience this story. Let me know what other action-adventure games you think I should scoop up. I already have the Nathan Drake Uncharted collection on my shortlist. I'm obviously going to need that one. Also really stoked to run through the Resident Evil remakes. I've just got the second one so far on PS4, but they all look really cool. This iconic franchise rarely disappoints, despite the occasional cheese, and they're just so much fun. I'd like to grab Resident Evil 3 and the remake version of 4 soon. Let me know which other ones are worth grabbing on the PS4, because I'm concerned about performance on some of the newer ones. Wasn't sure where to put these last two oddballs. Song of Memories is like a slice-of-life visual novel that devolves into the chaos of an apocalyptic alien invasion rhythm game or something. It just sounds too hilarious to not check out. Just classic Japanese zaniness. And Sakura Wars is half tactical mech battler, half relationship management. I honestly think I'm going to get a kick out of both, but Sakura Wars is definitely the better game of the two. The series is huge in Japan, but entries usually don't make their way over to the West. That said, this game is a sort of sequel to the last Sakura Wars game we got back on the PS2 and Wii, called Sakura Wars So Long My Love. So that's cool, I guess. Alright, just a couple more games, because I couldn't help myself and I bought a couple more on eBay. Yakuza Like a Dragon was only $12, and even though it just had this stock picture, it just arrived and it's a sealed steelbook. Pretty excited about that. This is a top shelf RPG. You probably saw the first two Trails of Cold Steel games, so I grabbed the third one at a reasonable price. I'm waiting on the last one for now, it's fairly pricey. And then last but not least, Exist Archive. This is basically a spiritual successor to the Valkyrie Profile games by the same developer, Tri-Ace, and it honestly looks really sweet. It was super cheap too. And that's it for now for the PS4 collection. Let me know what other titles you think I'm missing, and which ones of these featured that you'd like to see reviewed first. Please consider subscribing if you like this kind of thing. I'll be reviewing these games and many others coming soon. Thanks for stopping by.